Hello and welcome back everyone. So in this little series we're going to be making this scene in Blender and Unity. So in this episode I'm going to do most of the modeling, and then in a future episode I'll texture it and create the material in Unity. So I'm just going to dive right in. The first thing I want to do is create a cube. And I'm going to hold Control and move it up and then hit Tab. And then I'm going to go into vertex selection mode, and I'm just going to delete this whole top row. And then I'm going to take the bottom face and Shift D to duplicate and move it up to about there. And then I'm going to hit R, Z, and 45. And then I'm going to right click here and Control right click to get that path right there, and then F, and just repeat. Alright, so it looks like the normals are inverted, and we can check that by clicking on backface culling. You can see we're seeing through the model, so I'm just going to hit Control L and Control N, and that we calculated the normals. Alright, so that's our first building. That's pretty much all we're going to do for that interesting shape in the back. And we will want to move it up a little bit higher and scale the top down. Now when I'm scaling, it's scaling relative to the 3D cursor, which is kind of annoying. So I want to hit Control period to change it to the origin. And now we want, and I guess it does kind of have this pillar thing on the top. So we're going to make that, and then we're going to make a building like this one. So I want to move the cursor to the top of this to put the circle there. So I'm going to say cursor to active, and it didn't exactly go where I wanted. Let's see, cursor to selected. There we go. And then Shift A and add a circle. And I think I'll do 16 sides. Control N, Control L, Control N. Create a face there with F. E to extrude, S to scale in. And I think I made it a little bit too tall. Alright, so now for building number 2. I'm going to take this face, Shift D for duplicate, and move it out like that. And it looks like they are rotated a little bit. But I guess I should probably make them separate objects. So I'll hit P to separate the selection. And then later, once we're in Unity, we can rotate it however we want. So now I'm going to hit Control Alt Shift C to move the origin to the geometry. Tab back into edit mode. And I'm going to move this to about there. Control L, Control N. And then I hit Control R and scroll up 3 times. And then W and merge at center. Alright, so it's a little bit stubbier than it should be, but you can see we've got that piece right here, and the pointed top, and this building. And the perspective is a little bit off too. So why don't we start by scaling this in on every axis except the Z-axis. So that'll be S, Shift, Z. Alright, so I think that pretty much shows you enough that you could make the rest of this on your own. Pretty much for all of these corners, you're just going to create ring loops and then extrude the part that you want. And that should work for all this. I guess this circular building in the back is a little bit different. So I'll create a circle, Shift S, cursor to center, selection to cursor. And actually we need a lot more vertices than that. Why don't we bump this up to 128? And I think we only need like a very small arc out of this circle. Maybe from like here to here. So I'm going to duplicate those vertices and create a face between these and then that. And I can alt right click this ring and delete it. And I imagine that this building stretches back a little bit. like that. And I don't think I arced that enough actually. So why don't we scale this in? Alright, so I think those match up with the picture decently well. So we've got this building here, and this building behind it. And again, using those techniques, you could make the rest of the city if you want. So in the next episode, I'm going to texture these and then eventually bring them into Unity and add probably some kind of skybox and some reflective surfaces on these. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.